Support provided by Natchitoches Regional Medical Center, Northwestern State University, and Louisiana Tech.
It's been a great start to the season so far for the Bulldogs up in Ruston. Louisiana Tech off to a fantastic start this season, enjoying the bye week this week. Then an oddity in the schedule. They have a game and then another bye. Let's talk about that and some more with the way the season has gone. We're pleased to be joined by head coach Sonny Crumbie, joining us here from Ruston, up there by the field, up there on Louisiana Tech's campus. Coach, it's great to see you here. Thanks for joining us on Game Notes. How are things? And you're at the quarter pole of the season. Give us your evaluation of Bulldogs so far.
Well, no, it's great to be on. It's great to be on. It's good to see you, Victor, and appreciate what you guys are doing, for covering the schools here within the state, the great state of Louisiana. There's obviously a lot of really good football players all over this state, from the north to the south to central Louisiana. There's a lot of really good college teams that are in this state as well. And, I'm excited about how we've started. We're 4-1, 2-0 in our conference, and our guys have played, some really good football early on. And the thing that's encouraging and exciting, obviously, is you're 2-0 in conference. But, I think that we're still chasing our best football in terms of offense, defense, and special teams, in terms of playing complementary football, and playing together on all three sides. And so that's the thing that's encouraging to me, is I think that we still have a lot left in the tank from the standpoint of what we can accomplish as a team. In terms of how much better we can get, regardless of the opponents that we're playing. And so, right now we're in the middle. We start October. It's unique for us here in the Conference USA. Our midweek series, we will play next Thursday at Kennesaw State in Atlanta. And then we won't play again until the following Tuesday. So we have another about week and a half. We play at home against Western Kentucky, and then we have another week and a half, and we play on our Friday night at home again on Halloween for homecoming against Sam Houston State.
And, Coach, you're doing all of this with 14 new starters. I believe you're tied for most in the country in terms of new starters in FBS in their first season. So have you been surprised at the consistency you all have been able to develop so far? Has anything stood out with so many newcomers?
Well, I think that, defensively, we've been able to return a good group of guys, at linebacker. Really, like when you think about like linebackers and safeties, we've been able to return a good core group there on defense. A lot of the new guys for us are on the offensive side, and defensively, I think our guys have played really well. They've done a phenomenal job of creating takeaways. I mean, we've scored, I think five touchdowns on defense, which is pretty phenomenal. We've been able to take the football away. We've played great in the red zone. Our defensive line, that's where there's some newcomers there that have really stepped up and played well. We've had some brilliant individual performances. When you think about, Colby Fields, Mekhi Mason, Chief Leota at linebacker. At safety, you have Jakari Foster, who's got a pick six. I think he leads the conference in interceptions. Michael Richard, Mike's done a phenomenal job. Has an interception in the LSU game. He had an interception Saturday night at UTEP on an overthrow. And then you got Jacob Fields, who had his best game against UTEP. And then at corner, you got Jamal Shelby, a kid from St. Aug High School down in New Orleans, who's really played well at corner. Has done a great job for us there. And then offensively, that's where you have some of the newer faces, and then we've had some moments. If you put New Mexico State and Southern Miss first halves together, you're right around 700 yards of offense and around 80 plays. And so we've got to just kind of we've got to be able to capitalize that and play four quarters offensively. And we're going to. Our guys there are accountable, they're determined, and they're talented. And so I think that you're going to see an offense that is going to get on track here, later on in the season, starting this week at Kennesaw. And so, but I've been proud of the chemistry and the camaraderie I've talked about with this football team is very high. They've been very intentional about getting to know each other. They care about each other. And this has been a really fun team to be around. Even before we started the games, this has been the most enjoyable team that I've ever been a part of, just from the standpoint of how much they like each other, how much they enjoy being around one another. And that's really the atmosphere here in Ruston that we want to create from a football standpoint, this is a place where you can really hunker in and be around each other a lot and really concentrate on football quite a lot. And that's what we've been able to attract guys that love to do that.